Today is Friday, January 30th, and this is your forecast for the central United States. No surprise here. The big story is the extreme cold for much of the middle of the country. It's really kind of the eastern two-thirds of the country. If you're east of the Rockies, you're cold, and that doesn't look like it's going to change. So that's kind of the second part of the story is it's cold, but it's also going to stay cold for a really long time. So we've had these pieces of cold air, pieces of the polar vortex pushing south and east across the United States. You got one after the other after the other. Another piece is going to break southbound as we head into the weekend, and that actually will bring some record cold all the way down through the Florida Peninsula. And we're talking, down toward Orlando and even into South Florida where temperatures are at freezing or even in some cases below freezing. That's what's ahead for this weekend, so just get ready for it. In the Midwest, it's cold, as it has been. We're in the teens for highs. Temperatures generally 10 to 15 for most of us, maybe closing in on 20 with some flurries in Chicago. We are 15 in Pittsburgh, 20 in Cincinnati, 23 in Louisville, right around that freezing mark, Nashville and Memphis, which we know has been recovering from that massive ice storm last weekend. As we look ahead here, oh boy, shorts weather here. No, not quite. Upper 20s. So we're not even above freezing. This is just ridiculous that this is an improvement, but that's where we are. But yeah, temperatures could be in the upper 20s at least a few times here in the 7-day forecast. Now, there's an outside shot that Chicago gets above freezing about a week from now. So we'll see how that plays out, but generally staying pretty cold, but maybe not quite as cold as it has been. 22 today in Washington, D.C. The Mason-Dixon line's like what, somewhere in here? Maybe it's north there. But there's basically a line here, right? We got 20s up to the north, 40s down to the south, 60 in Savannah. You know what you can thank for that? The Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, helping to keep you warm there. 49 in Atlanta, 47 in Dallas, 53 in New Orleans. We got 69 for a high in Tampa, 69 in Miami. That's not so bad, right? But like I mentioned, that chunk of cold air is going to dive south, a piece of the polar vortex, and make its way all the way down into South Florida. So wait until you see the forecast there. Tomorrow in Charlotte, these are highs, high temperatures, 26 degrees. So that's that piece of the polar vortex. It's quick, so we eventually bounce out of it, but we're in the 30s on Sunday, 40s Monday and Tuesday. But these are the type of temperatures that cause pipes to burst, all sorts of issues in the deep south. We just aren't prepared for it as you travel into the southern United States. Chilly feel in Fort Lauderdale, a few showers around this afternoon. We barely peak at 70. That's not bad compared to what's coming. 66 tomorrow, 52 for a high on Sunday. This is Fort Lauderdale, my friends. So overnight lows are going to be in the 40s, 30s even. So this dangerous cold that's coming our way here. 59 for a high on Monday. We climb out of that. We're back in the 70s, but we should be up near 80 this time of the year. So that is your Friday morning weather update. I wish I had better news, folks, but that's what we got going on here for the eastern United States. Stay warm, be safe, and remember that as long as you want there to be, there will always be a 100% chance of good things.